In a surprising move, LTA made a U-turn in its...
Hey, what talking you? LTA is in charge of roads. Of course they can make a U-turn
Then the ERP 2.0 can U-turn. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not the U-turn about ERP 2.0 or the public transport price increase. Instead, it's for bus 167. Watch on because it might not be completely good news after all. So, here's the story so far. A year after MRT 9, the TEL opened to serve people from Woodlands to Tau. LTA announced a memo of some bus services and the discontinuation of one bus service completely. This is actually very common thing to happen when a new MRT 9 is built. Called bus. The authorities will usually amend or discontinue some bus services since they duplicate the same route. Usually, they affect truck services. If you don't know what truck and feeder services are, that means you have not watched my previous video. If so, I hope you buy 4D, never strike 4D. Buy Toto, never strike Toto. Dabao chicken rice, never get chili sauce. Yeah, usually truck services, long bus services that go from one town to another and cutting through many towns will be affected. Cause it makes sense why have bus and MRT going the same route? It's having two chicken rice stores in the same kopitiam way. But here's the thing if you think bus is final, it's like saying you finally start exercising here. You see, bus is often a very touchy topic. Kind of asking a Malaysian if Singapore has better lasa. Everyone will have their own opinion, but we all know Singapore version is. You see, even social media auto-censor it. It's so touchy, even MPs will step in to talk about it one day. Like for example, when the bus was done for the downtown 9, bus 700 and 700A were later discontinued. For that night, the drop was more than 50% in its ridership. The MPs fought for the service since the 9 will be convenient to many residents who will need to change bus and change MRT like how Sobilan changed a boyfriend. But even MPs lost to LTA as the services will eventually discontinue. But it's not like all fights will be lost. Back in 2003, when some of you weren't even born yet, bus 147 was due to be discontinued after the Purple 9, the NEL was built. Yeah, I know some of you think the NEL came together with the red and green like a McDonald's value meal, but no, it actually started operation from 2003. So with that, bus service 147 was scheduled to be discontinued. You see, people cry father, cry mother, because NEL's opening was delayed, and they were afraid that if anything went wrong with NEL, they would have no transport. That time, we are still not used to MRT disruption, so they want backups for disruption. So they wanted 147 to stay, and it stays. Here's the thing. It stayed until now, becoming the legend that defined the odds. In fact, it didn't change much, and it's also become one of the buses that goes to town from Singapore Polytechnic. Therefore, for the current 167 to have a U-turn, it's not surprising given the number of news articles. So what's the change? Instead of changing from 10 December, all the previously announced changes will start from 17 December instead. All changes will still go on except 167, which won't be discontinued. But instead of the 15 to 18 minute interval, the interval will be 30 minutes instead. Now let's address the burning question. Will we still be able to buy 0167 for 4D this weekend? Not the burning question. People want to know why the U-turn. Cares, as long as we get our cake and eat it. But why the U-turn? According to LTA, it's because they understand that some commuters may need some time to adjust and to try out the new travel routes. This is especially so for Service 167, where the change is more extensive. Of course, this could mean that it might be X in the future because they will retain 167 for now. This means we could still see it gone unless it's another 147. Now, if you think I've become smarter, consider subscribing. And also watch this video to know what the heck happened to 167 before this U-turn.